Hi everybody, welcome to another one of my circle tactic guides on PUBG on the Xbox One, and today we're going to be looking at a squad chicken dinner on Sanhok. So I thought it might be quite interesting, as it's a good example of kind of playing the edge. Now this is a new website I'm using, a new tool you can use to review not only your gameplay but the gameplay of anybody that you know, their Xbox tag or their PC tag. It's minmax.gg. And then you just click on the chicken dinner link, and if we go full screen, that's a bit better, isn't it? Now you can kind of see almost all of Sanhok. I can zoom in. I can't zoom out that far, but it's not that necessary. So in the lobby, basically, we see that the plane goes from southwest to north. So it's travelling from approximately Tambang, somewhere like actually Narkam. It goes from all the way up to Tatmok, and so straight away, this is my turn in our squad to call out where we're going to go. And you know me, it's all about playing the edge, and I believe in Sanhok, unless you want to drop hot, you treat it as though the whole of all of these three islands, that's the first circle has appeared, and the sea is the blue. And normally if you were going to go to the first circle on Erengel or Miramar, you'd probably be playing the edge, wouldn't you? And so what I always do is I will pick a group of houses or one of these little villages on the farthest side away from the plane flight path that doesn't have a name on it. So for example, wouldn't do Lakawi, wouldn't do Kampong, but would do any of these. Would avoid Camp Bravo, obviously Paradise, Boot Camp, all that sort of stuff. So let's see where the plane goes. Let's just speed up. There it goes, as it goes over the top, and we'll just pause it. Dunk. So here's my squad up here, these little green fellas. You may well have to play this full screen on your phone or on your laptop to see what's going on. And as you can see, you know, round here, I think this is where I put our markers down, is where I want my squad to go. So let's just wait for everybody to hit the ground. We hit the ground here. So as expected, you can see, excuse me, we've landed by ourselves over here, so we've kind of split up to do separate looting. One team at Camp Bravo, as you'd expect. A couple of teams, probably 3 teams at Paradise Resort. A couple of teams at Boot Camp. One team at Lakawi. Again, teams gone over to Hartin. Of course they have, because you know it's right on the flight path and it's a good place to loot. A couple of teams over at Camp Alpha. If we come south, people have hit Cave, people have hit Docks, people have hit Ruin, people have hit Tambang, and looks like there's one team in Camp Charlie. You know, so if you think Camp Charlie was quite far from the flight path, Docks is quite far from the flight path. Lakawi, Camp Bravo, they've only got one team, but you see all the places that are near to the flight path have got more than one team. But because we're over here on the edge, we can loot in safety, and we also know that we're probably going to have a fairly safe run into the circle, because again, I believe in squads on PUBG, it's all about getting all 4 of you, or 3 of you if it's a 3-man squad, into those final circles. So you've got 4 pairs of eyes, you've got 4 guns, you give yourself a much bigger chance of actually taking that chicken dinner. So let's carry on, let's see what happens. So we're looting. Can I speed it up a bit? I can just drag this along, can't I? Loot, excuse me. Have to forgive me. So again, sorry, let me just pause that a sec. So we know the centre of the circle is here, and it goes over the top of the map. So, you know, the centre of the circle will never be in water, so I'm kind of fairly sure that the circle is probably going to include somewhere over here. So what I'm doing at this point is taking my team sort of north, so I know we can loot in safety. So we loot. Care package comes in. Andy goes off to grab the care package. Comes back with an AWM, I think, or something like that. So we're looting. First circle is there. Second circle appears. We're still in it, so we can still loot in safety. So again, I encourage my guys to go up towards Mong 9 now, so we can get even more stuff. I mean, we've got all the kit we need at this point. But it's just all about getting those extras, getting those suppressors, getting those optics you want. Now let's see what's going on down here. These teams are all having to move in. These are going to be coming into conflict with each other. You have these definite choke points on this bridge here and this bridge here. So again, if you were over here in Hattin, or coming out of Camp Alpha, or coming this way, come across here at this island. Come across at that point. Don't use the bridges. Stay away from those obvious choke points. The guys in Paradise Resort are going to be laughing because they're still there. So let's take it forward. Oh yeah, we were shooting each other. So we all pile up. We've all met up now over here, which is cool. And then the blue comes in. We're just waiting to see what's happening. Again, now I'm encouraging people we're going to be moving towards the centre, because the chances of the circle being completely on us aren't that strong. So if you move away from the centre, because in Sanhok you do have very fast circle changes. So you want to avoid being caught right on the edge of a circle, because there could be a hard shift right over to this side of the map and giving you very little time. It might only be 30 seconds before the circle starts to move. So I'd always encourage you to start moving into the middle if it is safe to do so. I think you really want to be about a third of the way into the circle to give you a chance to get to anywhere safely. And that also includes then time for you to get into gunfights. Because the biggest failure, I think, in PUBG when you're playing the game is to die to the blue unnecessarily. It's just such a waste. So let's drag forward. Got lots of gunfights going on down here and at Barn. Next circle comes in. Now, this is quite a hard shift for us. It couldn't really be further anyway, but we know we're on the quiet side of the circle. We know that the flight path was from sort of southwest to the north part of the island. So we're pretty confident there aren't that many people. What I'm thinking about of the squad as the squad leader is taking us into the circle in a way to normally to try and avoid Paradise and Tatmok and Cow, where people will probably still either be hanging around because they're a good place to camp, or still be looting. So at this point, another care package comes in, and we go for that one as well. And now we start running in. Now this is where you see something really unusual. See this chap here? He comes out. He must have seen the care package and decides to go for it. So he comes out towards us. We're running in now, going past the blue, and I run past this guy, and he opens up on me. Luckily, I've got all my guys with us, and we're keeping nice and tight, and we just take that guy down. And then we take this guy down as well, and then we're in to the edge of the next circle. It's time for us to heal up, and the next circle has appeared. The thing that's right in our way, though, is Paradise, and I know there's going to be lots of people here. I'm thinking about people who are coming from Camp Bravo, people are coming from Cow. They're the people we're worried about. All these people coming from the West Island and the Southwest Island and Boot Camp, these are all just going to be bumping into each other all around this area. And I know we're going to have a fairly clean way into the circle. So I lead them, we all get healed up, and we start legging it in. Unfortunately, we've left quite late. So we just sort of clip the corner of Paradise and go right round the corner. You can see all these firefights happening over here and over here as these teams run into each other. Again, I'm thinking, I'm trying to get us into the circle in a safe way, and then getting us into some nice cover as we get in. Because there's so much shooting, and we're engaging these guys over here as well happening, we're not pushing that far into the circle. What happens here is we spot a nice little place to hold up. There's like a little house up here that Matt finds, and so we hole up there after getting into a few gunfights. And I'm constantly, while we're doing this, because it's my turn to be the squad leader, I'm saying I'm constantly keeping an eye on the blue, and I'm constantly, right, we've got to go guys, because you'll find your teammates will get involved in a firefight and time will fly. They won't realise what's going on with the blue, because they'll be, especially if they've knocked somebody, if they've got a few hits in, they'll be like, no, I want to finish them off. And it's like, no, we've got to go. They'll die to the blue. We've got to get safe into the blue. Because when you're in the blue, that means when you engage people who are running out of the blue, you are at massive advantage that way. So you can see all these people behind us. There's this big gunfight going on in Paradise, but we kind of chill out there, and we're all shooting them. Now, next circle appears. Now, because we've got kind of Paradise in these, you can't see it in the game, but we've got these rocks. As we go in a bit closer, we've got these kind of rocks here. It enables us then to move in a lot safer. And at this point, we're in a very open area all around here. But again, Matt finds another house over here, and you can't actually get up this bit. But we kind of hang around a bit. Matt shoots these guys, and then we kind of hang around this house, waiting for the blue to come in. So let's have a look. Now, we're very lucky now in the fact that the circle is very close to us. We've already seen these guys down here. Let's zoom in a little bit more for you. So we know there's people in these houses. We're taking shots from them, but we've got cover. I'm very aware that there's nobody coming from behind us, but there has to be people coming from the west of the island. They've just got to be there. There's too many people left alive. There's 16 left alive. So let's see what happens now. What's happening now is we move into the circle because there's some rocks, and the team is quite focused on these people here. What I'm doing, I'm hanging back and I'm just looking around. Always remember, if all your teammates are firing in one direction, you should be looking in the other direction, looking for those flankers who are coming around behind you. So we're engaging, and we have to move in. Now this is where things start getting interesting. Now we've got this team coming in here, this team coming in here. Now these guys, you see the mistake these guys make. They're really spread out. These guys know what they're doing. They're keeping together. These guys do. We're in a couple of pairs, so we're keeping together that way. Lots of fire from us over to these people coming out. Excuse me, into these out of these buildings. Matt spots this guy, takes him out. These two teams are bumping into each other, and we can hear all this gunfire that's happening over here. So I'm very aware of what might be happening. Right, so now this circle appears. We now know we're in a pretty good situation. We know these guys who are all in this house have to push out towards us. We know these guys are going to have to push down the hill. I'm not sure if we know about this guy, but let's see what happens. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Right, so we spot him, we take this guy out. This team have taken all of these guys out, so it's basically, if we go forward a little bit, you've now got 3 teams left. Us, where there's 4 of us, there's only 3 of these guys left, and there's only 3 of these guys left, so we have the numerical advantage, and we're the closest to the circle. We move forward behind these rocks. This guy decides to run out by himself, so he takes fire from all of us. These guys again are running left. He's gone down. And then we now get into this position here. We've got 1 man ahead. These guys are running down the hill. We spot them. We start firing at these guys over here. We take out that guy. He then get that chap. Let me just rewind that a sec. Right, this guy here shoots him. So at this point, Matt's pushed all the way over here. He's knocked that guy. We're getting pretty close to the end now. And all that's left now, Matt's knocked him. There's only this chap left. And then he goes behind a tree. We all open up. And even before the last circle appears, look at all these bullets flying towards that guy. Looks like 3 of us all hit him, and he goes down. And we get the chicken dinner. So there we go. That is a squad chicken dinner on Sanhok. And hopefully, let's just rewind it. That kind of highlights the importance, if we watch the plane go over. There goes the plane. We start off here, and then we do this long, in fact, let's just take it forward. This long loop, away from all the busy areas, around, into the circle, avoiding everybody else, getting into a few gunfights. Again, choosing the quiet way, making sure we stay ahead of the blue, and then just being there to take advantage of all the other teams shooting each other, us having good position, and then taking it. And this chicken dinner was with, there was me, Andy, Keith and Matt. And what you find is in your squads and the various people you play with, you'll have different strengths. So I like to think my strength is probably the first few circle strategies. Right, we should, if we jump here and we loot here, we're going to get to like the 3rd or 4th circle with lots of gear and probably in one piece. We got Andy, who can play very aggressive, very good gunfighter, and will take people out. Keith, very sensible. Again, will make good calls about where people are coming from. And Matt is really good at ferreting out the safest way in the last few circles. So literally, when you're in the last couple of circles, when it's critical the path you take from cover to cover, you tend to let Matt go, and Matt will just like follow Matt. He'll take us in and he'll wander off and we'll run after him, and then we'll set up for those final gunfights. So anyway, hopefully that's a useful video for you. Gives you some ideas how your squad might want to play Sanhok. And if you've got any questions or comments, put them in the box down below, and I'll see you again soon.